If you use Google Forms to make Google quizzes or Google surveys, then you're going to really love this tool. We're going to focus on the quizzes, and I'm going to show you 3 AI technologies that will do the job for you. So there's no need for you to spend hours writing in all the questions. The best thing about these technologies is each of them has a free option. Won't hang around any longer, let's get started. So the first tool I'm going to show you is called QuestionWell. This has an AI technology in it. It will generate a text and it will generate the questions around that text that you can then share as a Google form. I've signed up to the free account. I'm going to click on Create Set. All I need to do is in this area here at the above, choose multiple choice. I'm going to choose, for example, English. I'm going to decide on the level, goes right up to university level, but I'll choose 7th grade. And then I've got a choice. I can either upload a text, a file, a video, and this works very well, or I can choose to just write in here the topic and the AI will generate the content, and I'm going to show you that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say questions about the solar system. Okay, and I'm hoping that it's going to produce questions for me. So I just write that in. As I said, you do have the option if you want to upload a text, a website or a video, but I'm just going to get the AI to write the text for me, and I click on generate the questions, and off it goes, and it starts to generate the questions for me. The quiz has been generated. I've got my text here on the left hand side. This marked out in kind of highlighted is to show me where the questions are directed to within the text itself. Here you can see the questions. Okay, now very interestingly, particularly if you're a language teacher, look that it also provides you with a list of the key vocabulary from the text, as well as some discussions for questions, which can also be really useful. Now, the thing is, what you've got to now do is decide which of these questions you want to use. So you can go through the questions and obviously check that they're correct. If you want to double check, you can also use this button here to go onto Google search. And to say that you're happy with the question, what you need to do is to click on this button here and say, yeah, I want to include that question, or I move down to this one here, say, yeah, I want to include that question. You can, once you've checked them all, if you've decided, of course, you can just uncheck them and check all of them. So you can either do it individually, or you can just say, yeah, that I want all of the questions. So if you click here, then it will select all 10 questions for you. Now, how do you turn this into a Google form? Well, that is really easy. So all you need to do is click on Export Questions. Now I'm just going to show you one small problem, and I'm going to show you the solution to this, but let me just show you here. If you click on Export, you've got loads of different systems that you use. We're going to focus on Google Forms, and I'm going to click here. Now I've already connected my Google account to my QuestionWell, so you do need to do that the first time. But if I click now on View in Google Forms, you will see that it's if I click on Make a Copy, I'm now going to have a copy of that Google form in my Google, or sorry, the questions in my Google form. Now there they are, they're all in there. And this will work, and I could share this with the students by clicking on the send button and choosing to obviously share the link. Can even shorten it, copy that, send it to the students. They can do the activity. They will get immediate feedback. However, you may have noticed there's one small problem. The text is not provided. It only provides the questions, but there is a great solution to this. Super quick, I'm just going to show you how. So there's really an easy solution to this problem, and all we need to do just for a second is go back to the questions, and all you need to do is copy the text. So click on this button here, copy the text, do that first, now export. So we're going to go through the whole process again, and of course the difference now is you will be able to paste the text in where the description goes, and that's actually something that I do anyway. I normally write the text into the description so the students can read the text and then answer the question. I'm going to click and just paste that text in. Now I've got the text, and underneath the text I've got all of the questions, and of course I can now share that with my students. That is how it works. Now I'm going to show you another technology that I have to admit will do this even quicker, in fact in an easier way. The only difference is the free option is limited in terms of the amount of time that we can use it. So I think that's a pretty impressive tool. I know that the people on my Patreon have been very impressed with QuestionWell. It does lots of other things. But what we're going to look at now is a technology called Diffit. Now Diffit does a much better job of bringing in both the text and the questions. So let's look at Diffit in action and the free option. The impressive thing about Diffit is you literally just write in a text. So let's do the same as we did before. We're going to say the solar system. Okay, so a text about the solar system. And we again can choose different grades and we can choose as well to use a different language. This actually works in multiple languages, but we'll keep it more or less the same. So 7th grade, English, informational text, and I'm going to click here. Again, this technology offers other options, and if you want to learn more about, for example, how it works with YouTube, then I'll put a video on the screen now that you can watch where I show you Diffit and YouTube. But let's just click on this button now and generate the content, and we're going to transfer this into Google Forms. And there it is, we've got all our content. Now interestingly, we got more in a way than from QuestionWell. We get some images and we can change it. We come down, we get the text, we can adjust the length, we can even show the sources. We've got the summary, we've got some key vocabulary, you've got some multiple choice questions. You can even add questions if you want to add additional questions, so you can add additional questions if you want to. I've already got 6 questions on there, but you can do that. Now, the interesting thing about all of this content is when you click on Google Forms, and you will need to connect your Google Forms to, or Diffit to, your Google account, you can choose what you want. You don't have to include everything within the Google Form. So for example, I don't want the summary, I don't want the short answer questions, I do want the title, I do want the key vocabulary, I don't want the open-ended prompts, I would like to have the adapted reading passage and the multiple choice questions. So I'm keeping it very simple, and I click on export. Now if you've connected your account, then the next thing you're going to see on the screen is a button to literally open it up into Google Forms, and you can see it there, and I'm going to click here now, and hopefully it's going to open up that Google form straight away. And in reality, this is actually ready to share. All the work has been done for me. I've got my text, I've got my picture, I've got my vocabulary, and because I wanted the vocabulary, and then I've got the questions. And again, what I would then do is click on send. I would choose this option here, make it shorter, share that and copy that to the students so they could do this activity. And of course, it will give them immediate feedback on what they've done. Okay, so Diffit, and if you want to learn more about Diffit, well, I've already mentioned that it works with YouTube, but there's other things that it does. There's a video on the screen now that you can watch that will take you through other features within Diffit. I'm going to move on now to a tool that I really like. It's called Twee. Now, Twee, the Google Forms, currently only works in the paid tool, but Twee is a very, very comprehensive tool that's specifically for language teachers and will generate loads and loads of different types of activities. It's definitely worth looking into. Now, I do actually have an offer with Twee, and if you either click on the link in the description or I'll put the link on the screen now, you will get a reduction on the paid tool as well. Let's look at how Twee and Google Forms works together. Now I'm logged into Twee, and I just want to make the point, Twee is a pretty sophisticated technology. It offers a lot of options for language teachers, and it works in multiple languages. If you click on the tools here, you get an indication of just how many different tools can be combined together. This can make whole lesson plans, whole reading exercises with true or false, and with matching activities and gap fill activities, etc., etc. And you can kind of start your activities in different way, but we're going to start with a text. So I'm going to click on this here, and we'll carry on the same theme. So we're going to call it the solar system, And this time what I'm going to do, I can add in target vocabulary that I want to practice, but I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave it at intermediate. I'll leave it about 250 words. I get different types of text that I can choose, but I'm just going to do a descriptive article, and I'm going to click on do the magic, and it's actually going to generate that text for me, and you'll see that text appear at the bottom of the screen. There it is. Now what I can do with that now is I can add to it. And I can look at all these different options in terms of further activities that I can do to use this. And so one of the most obvious things to do from that text is to have some ABCD questions. So we'll click here, and then it's going to say, well, do you want to add the questions from the text? We're going to say yes. What level? Well, we'll keep it B2. Do the magic, and it's now going to generate the ABC questions that can go along with that text. Now I'm going to do a couple more things as well. I'm now going to come down underneath, and we'll add in some true or false statements as well, and we're going to click on there. Now we could carry on doing this. We could build this up. We could add gap fills, etc. Twee's pretty sophisticated, and if you want to learn more, watch the video that's on the screen now. I go into much more detail than in this video, but let's just create the true or false questions. Now once everything's done, and remember I could build up and do a lot more, what I can do is click on export, and I can export that to Google Forms, okay? And it will include the correct answers, and it will include the page numbers, and it will format everything for me as well. So I'm going to click on export, and hopefully that's now going to be exported to Google Forms. Okay, and if we click on open in Google Forms now, and there it is. Now it's very interesting because it even creates separate pages. So you get the text on the front page, and very cleverly, when you come to the second page, they give you the text again, which is a really good idea because you don't have to jump back and look at the text and then answer the questions. It provides the questions on the second page as well. And there are all the questions. And of course you can edit any of these, and all of these tools you can come in and edit everything, but hopefully it will all be okay if you've checked it first anyway. And we've got some more questions on the third page, which are the true or false questions. Again, the text has been provided. It's a really good idea, all ready to share with your students. You would click on the send button, click here, shorten it, copy that link, share it with the students, and they will be able to do that, for example, as some homework, reading comprehension. Now, Twee's a pretty sophisticated tool, and if you want to learn more about the many things it does, there is a video on the screen now you can click on that goes into more detail about how Twee works. Okay, really hope you liked the video, and if you do, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. There's hundreds more videos on the website. There's a really popular section on teaching and using AI. I specialize in making videos to help language teachers use technology. If you want to sign up to the newsletter, then that way you can keep up with all the latest videos, the free webinars that we run, the courses that we run, etc. And at the moment, if you sign up to the newsletter, there is a special 14-part free course that you'll be sent. You'll be sent a video about every 3 or 4 days that really just focuses on the most popular technologies on my YouTube channel that teachers have reacted to. And that really builds up into a really nice course and gives you a strong basis in using technology in language teaching. It's completely free, and literally everything that I show you is a free technology. If you'd like to have live training with me, then think about joining me on Patreon. On Patreon, for $6 a month, you get 3 free videos from me each month without any advertisements in them. But the important thing is those videos are connected to a monthly webinar that we have where we meet live. And we normally work with the technology that we focused on that month, or sometimes it's 2 technologies, and we do activities and really learn to use those technologies well, so that then you can try those out in class or online with your students. The other interesting thing about joining me on Patreon is that actually you get access to all of the backdated material. So there's over a year of videos and live training. This training is very practical with lots and lots of ideas about things that you can do in the class or online with your students teaching languages. So it's much more practical than the YouTube videos, and you get that as part of the $6 a month. Okay, I'm going to leave some more videos on the screen that I think you might find useful.